السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, today we are looking at lesson number 80. So this is the 80th lesson that we are studying, and that is Al-Manaratu Tatahaddas. We are looking at Al-Manaratu Tatahaddas, lesson number 3. Okay, this is the last lesson of this Manaratu Tatahaddas. Okay, you will bear witness that it has been a very long lesson. This Manaratu Tatahaddas, we have studied it. We have been studying the part 1, part 2, and finally this is the part 3. So after this lesson, we'll be done with it. And so, without wasting much time, let's just begin. The author says that Araka ya Sayyidi qad sa'imta hadisi. I've seen that, say. You know, this is an expression that we use as respect. Okay, sir. Okay, ya Sayyidi, sir, or master. You know, the author is referring to the one, me and you. Qad sa'imta hadisi, you are fed up with my talks. You know, he has been talking about this Manaratu Tatahaddas for so long now. Okay, so he's saying that qad sa'imta. Sa'ima means to be fed up with something. Okay, so if I say sa'imtul julusa fil ghurfa, I am fed up with sitting in the room. Okay, so if I'm outside walking around and you ask me, I say sa'imtul julusa fil ghurfa, I'm fed up with sitting in the room. I mean, I've done it for so long, I'm fed up. So sa'ima means to be fed up with something. Okay, qad sa'imta hadith, you are fed up with my speech. Wa tul al-qiyami huna, and I mean staying here for so long. Okay, fasbir qalilan, be patient small. The author is telling us, لعلي أخفف عن نفسي بعض ما أجده من الحزن. Perhaps I'll free myself, I'll relieve myself of some of the sad things that I've seen. So he's going to tell us certain things that he saw and they weren't good. So he's yet to say it to us so that he'll be free. That's what he's telling us. He says that nasitu an athkura laka anna al-Ingliza qad dakhalu al-Hind. I forgot to tell you that the English people, the English people, qad dakhalu al-Hind, they entered India fi qarni sadisa ashara, in the 16th century, Masihi, bimana of the Christian calendar, Tujaran, as traders. Okay, so this Tujaran is hal. Okay, in Arabic is hal. Okay, the condition in which they entered India as traders. Then he says that وَأَسَّسُوا شَرِكَةً تِجَارِيَّةً, and then they established a business company. Sharika means company. Tijariya is business. So they established a business company. Sammuha, they call it Sharikatul Hindiyatul Sharkiya, the Eastern Indian Company. That was how they call it. وَكَانَتْ بِزْرَةَ فَسَادٍ, and it was a seed of evil. Meaning that business, that company that they established, it was as if they planted an evil seed, a seed of evil. Remember, the seed that you plant something is an expression to mean that something starting is a source of evil. You are starting something that is a source of evil. It will grow up and cause a lot of chaos in the society, to produce a lot of evil in the society. So such thing we call it bizratu fasadin, a seed of evil. Okay, so if you are establishing something like an alcoholic center in an Islamic community, it's a source of evil. It's a bizratu fasad, because not just alcohol, it will attract a lot of immorality, a whole lot of things it will cause in the society. So such thing is called bizratu fasad. It's an expression used in Arabic to mean something that it in itself, after some time, it will cause a lot of problems in the society. So it was a bizratu fasad. It was a seed of evil. أَقْفَلَهَا مُلُوكُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ فِي بَسَاطَتِهِمْ وَحُسْنِ ظَنِّهِمْ. Akfalaha, gafala means to be heedless of something. So akfalaha al-Muslim, mulukul Muslimin, the Muslim rulers, they were heedless of it. They didn't give any attention to it. They didn't understand. They didn't really look at it, what the thing would cause. Fi basatatihim, in their simplicity, meaning they were so simple. Wa husni zannihim, and in their good thought, everything they think positive about everything. They don't look at the negative consequences of it. They just, oh, it's a company, so it will produce maybe to create jobs, to create this and this and that. They didn't look at the negative aspects. So وحسن ظنهم, they always think positive. وبقيت هذه الشركة تشتغل بالتجارة حتى اضطرب حول دولة المغولية. So this sharika, this company, بقيت تشتغل بالتجارة. It was busy with business. It was busy doing its business حتى اضطرب, until it shook. اضطرب means to shake something. حبل دولة المغولية, the rope of the Mughal state. So this company, it gave rise to the Mughal state. In simplicity, that's what he's telling us. This thing was this company was what gave birth to the Mughal state. Then he says that فَطَمَحَ رِجَالُهَا إِلَى الْمُلْكِ وَالسِّيَاسَةِ. So these men, the Mughal state, these men, they desired kingship and politics. It meant, they are men. These English people who came as traders, they now begin to develop interest in kingships, rulerships, and then even politics. That's what he's telling us. وَصَارُوا يَتَدَخَّلُونَ فِي الْأُمُورِ, and they begin entering into matters. وَيُحَرِّشُونَ بَيْنَ الْأُمَرَاءِ, and then they were يُحَرِّشُ is to cause two people to incite them to fight against one another. That's harrasha. So they were causing kings, al-umara, prince. Okay, several of them, they caused them to fight between themselves. وَيَضْرِبُونَ بَعْضُهُمْ بَعْضٍ, and that's similar thing, they were causing them to fight one another. وَيَنْتَهِزُونَ فُرْصَةً بَعْدَ فُرْصَةٍ, and they were taking opportunities one after the other. Intahaza, it means to take an opportunity. Another word is egtanama. That's similar thing. Intahaza or egtanama, it means to take an opportunity. So they were taking opportunity one after the other. Okay, any opportunity that comes, they take that opportunity. Hatta asbahu quwwatan fil Hind, until a point they became a power in India. They were established. That's similar thing that happened in Palestine today. Britain, what Britain did, first bringing in the Israelis, and it was just small by small until they grabbed some power in the land, and then they started causing chaos. And people who were already in the land, they saw them to be, no, these people, they don't even deserve to be here. So that's similar thing. Hatta asbahu quwwatan fil Hind. They came first as traders, like he has said here, and now they became a power in the land. They says that walam yazal amrul Ingliza yakwa, and the matter of the English people, they kept growing stronger. Wa amrul Hindiyin yad'afu, and the matter of the Indians they were getting weaker. The English people were getting strong, and the Indians who were, the custodians of the land, they were even getting weaker. Hatta, until a point, Akhazu fil Junub, Kernanak, until a point where they took Kernanak. So these English people, they took Kernanak. They get hold of the place, and then they took it into their custody, their rulership. Wafi Shark, and even in the east, Calcutta. So this Calcutta, they also took it, and it was in their control. وَذَلِكَ كُلُّهُ بِمَالِ الْحِنْدِ وَرِجَالِهَا, and all of that with the money of the Indians and even its men. These are people who are traitors. They are traitors. Even today in Muslim communities, when Muslims are being attacked by disbelievers, we have people who are traitors. They are Muslims by names or by identity, but they go and side with the disbelievers to come and cause massive distractions in Islamic countries. There are people like that. Even today we see them in Gaza, all this place, we see them. Now he says that lam yabzulu fi sabili zalika dirhaman. They didn't even spend a dirham, a single dirham in this cause. This was done by traitors in India, among the Indians. Wala daman min kibali anfusihim, nor even a blood. They didn't share their blood. Those who fought for them were the Indians, and then they took over these places and then established themselves there at the beginning. They says that وَقَدْ أُنِيَ بِأَمْرِ الْإِنْجِلِيزَ فَتًا شَحْمٌ, and the matter of the English people was identified. Unia, bimana, to realize, someone realize it. Who is that? Fatan Shahmun, a very brave man, a very brave young man. Wahuwa Nawab Sirajul Dawla, Amir Murshid Abad, and he's the person of Nawab Sirajul Dawla. Okay, he's called Sirajul Dawla. Nawab means a representative. Okay, man, he was representing the state or something. That's what they say here. Amir Murshid Abad. He was the prince of Murshid Abad. It's a place. Okay. وكانت بينه وبين الإنجليز وقعة, and between him and the Indians there was an event. Meaning, when we say waqa'atun in terms of conflict, it means a war. Okay, not necessarily any incident. It means a war, fighting. في بلاس, in Balas, سنة 1171, in this year Hijri, in this year, that was when this waqa'a occurs. Or even if you want it in the Gregorian calendar, that will be 107 1757. Okay, in the, so this year is in Hijri calendar, but if you look at it in the Gregorian calendar, it will be this one. That's what he's saying. He says that Gadara fiha waziru Mayr Ja'far. So that's what I've said. Gadara, someone acted treacherously, and who is that? Mayr Ja'far. So Gadara means to act treacherously, to betray your people. That is Gadara. So Mayr Ja'far, a particular person who is called Mayr Ja'far, he betrayed. And this person was a minister, Wazir, he was a minister, and then he betrayed. وَانْسَلَّ إِلَى الْإِنْجْلِيزَ, and then he sneak. Insalla means to sneak. Okay, to hide and move. It isn't that he just went to them straightforward. He hide and went to them. Insalla. Okay, he hide and went to them. You know, sometimes when the teacher is teaching in the class, like here in the classroom, let's say the class prophet himself, Abdul Karim, is watching. He wants to go out, but because we are in the class, he doesn't want to go out. So he's watching the time the teacher is writing on the board. You know, the teacher is not facing the audience again. Then he sneaks, he goes back to the last seat and be sitting there. He shifts small, getting close to the door. He change, seat by seat, getting close to the door. When the teacher is writing on the board, then he finally run out. That is inshallah. It's not just getting out and leaving casually. He has to sneak by the way you are gone. That is inshallah. So he sneaked and went to the English people. فَانْهَزَمَ سِرَاجُ الدَّوْلَةِ, and this Siraj al-Dawla, this Fatan Shahmun, this brave man, he was defeated. He was trying to do something for their land, to take back their land, but he was defeated, mistreated. وَانْتَقَلَتْ مُقَاطَعَةُ بَنْكَالِ إِلَى الْإِنْجْلِيزَ, and then the land of Bengal. Okay, muqata'atun, it means a region, a province, okay, a piece of land. This called Bengal, it was taken by the English people again. They've already took Karnataka and then Calcutta. Now they have taken another one again. These are very serious issues. You know, it happened a lot in places in the world. And currently, that is what Muslims in Palestine are facing. It says that وَاجْتَهَدَ الْأُمَرَاءُ مَرَّةً ثَانِيَةً, and for a second time, the kings, they came together to strive to see if they can take back their land. وَاجْتَمَعَ مَيْرُ قَاسِمْ خَتَنُ مَيْرُ جَعْفَرْ, and then Khatanu means brother-in-law or even son-in-law. It simply means an in-law, mostly used for brother-in-law. So the brother-in-law of Mayru Ja'far, this betrayer, the one who betrayed, who was called Mayru Qasim, they came together. So this Mayru Qasim, he came, Amir Murshid Abad, wa Shahu Alim, and then this Shah means Malik, king. So Shahu Alim, Maliku Delhi, the king of Delhi, wa Nawab Shujja Dawla, Amiru Awdah, they all came, these three people that he has mentioned, they came together, Bijunudihimul Kesifa, with their thick military, very powerful and very large armies. They came together to see if they can do something. وَقَاتَلُوا الْإِنْجْلِيزَ, and then they fought the English people. وَهُمْ أَقَلُّ مِنْهُمْ عَدَدًا, and they were lesser than them in number. These armies, they were very huge number. They were more than the English people in terms of number. That's what he's saying. وَهُمْ أَقَلُّ مِنْهُمْ عَدَدًا. These English people were lesser than them in number. I don't know whether you get what he's saying. وَلَكِنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنْهُمْ نِظَامًا. But they were better than them in terms of organization. Their system, they had a very nice system, a very organized system than the Indians who came together with their armies. The English people had a better system than them, a more organized system. فَانْهَزَمَ الْهِنْدِيُّونَ. And so they defeated the Indians. Okay, the English people with lesser number but better organization, they defeated the Indians. وَانْكَسَرُوا فِي سَاحَةِ بَكْسَرَ. And then they were broken in the field of Baksar, rather this place where the war took place. They were defeated there. That's what he's saying. Sanata 1178 in this year of Hijri, or even if you want it in the Gregorian, that would be 1764. Okay, in this year. فكان برهانا على أن النظام يغلب الزحام. And it was an evidence, burhan, an evidence that nizam, that organization, having a well organization, is better than crowd. Ziham literally means crowd, but here it will mean population. Having a huge number, it doesn't guarantee success. What guarantees success is having a better system. وَكَانَتْ لِلْإِنْجْلِيزَ الْيَدُ الْأُولِيَا. And so the English people had an upper hand. وَالْكَلِمَةُ النَّافِذَةُ مَا بَيْنَ كَلْكَتَّةَ وَدَهْلِي. And the final say in whatever is between Calcutta and Delhi. Let's see what happens. Then he says that ثُمَّ قَامَ الْفَتَى الْأَبِي. Then afterwards a very brief young man rose. Abi will mean someone who is defiant, someone who doesn't listen, someone who is very hard. It's called Abi. Okay, Abi. Someone who, I don't want to say arrogant, but something like that. Someone who is very, very tough. It's called Abi. So, Fatal Abi, a very tough person, a very tough young man, brave and tough young man. Al-Gayur. Al-Gayur means he has envy. To have a positive envy. Like you don't feel well for what is happening in your land. You are sitting down, people are coming to take over your lands. And you are someone who doesn't, you can't contain it. You feel envy that you have to get up and do something. Such person is called Gayur. He has envy, positive envy. So Al-Gayur, As-Sultan Taibu, who was the person of Sultan Taibu, Amirul Al-Maysur, وقاتل الإنجليز قتالا شديدا. And so he fought the English people a severe fighting. وهزمه الإنجليز. But the English people defeated him بقوة المسلمين والمرحة, by the power of the Muslims. So you see, Muslims even go and join the English people to come and fight him. SubhanAllah. So you see what is happening. والمرحة, and even the Murhata. Sanata, in this year, which is 1224 Hijri, or even if you want it in the Gregorian, that will be 1799. وغدر الوزير مير الصادق. And then this wazir, this minister who was Mair Sadiq, he acted treacherously. وانسلّ إلى الإنجليز, and then he sneaked to the English people. ومات السلطان الشهيد. And the Sultan, this Taibu, whom they just mentioned, he died as a shaheed, as a martyr, في ساحة القتال, in the field of the fighting, where the fighting took place. موت الأبطال, the death of a hero. Abtal is a hero. Okay, so Abtal is a plural of Batal, okay, which means a hero. So the Abtal is the plural. So someone who died in the battlefield, he died as if he's a martyr. So that's what he's saying. وَدَافِعًا عَنْ دِينِهِ وَوَطَنِهِ. Okay, fighting for his religion and even for his hometown. They say that so despite all this struggle, still the English people keep defeating them. Then he says that وَأَرَادَ اللَّهُ أَنْ يَبْتَلِيَ أَهْلَ الْهِنْدِ, and Allah wanted to test the people of India. فَمَنَحَهُمْ فُرْصَةً أُخْرَى, and so he granted them a second chance. So let's see, Allah is going to have mercy on them. فَنَحَضَتْ إِصَابَةٌ مِنَ الشُّبَّانِ الْمُخْلِصِينَ, and so Allah brought up a group of young men from among the pious young men. Isoba is similar to Usbatun, okay, which means a bunch of young men. Mainly in Arabic language, when they say Usbatun, is between يعني ما بين 10 و 40, between 10 and 40, 10 to 40 young men is called Usba or Isoba. So Allah brought some young men who were very, very, very pious. They were very, very sincere. Okay, yakuduha. So that's what happens. Sincerity is the most important thing. You know, if we are fighting for the cause of Allah, there's no way that his believers will defeat us. That's what Allah says. Look at the time of the Sahabas. You know, look at what is happening in Palestine. Umar radiallahu anhu, he just took soldiers and went and captured Palestine. Umar was the one who captured Palestine. You know, and it became a land of Islam. Look at it. There were very few, very, very few. But sincerity. لا يقاتلون إلا لتكون كلمة الله هي الأولى. They are not fighting except that for the word, for Islam to become superior in the land. When we are fighting with this sincerity, there's no way that these believers will, defeat us. But look at today. We have the huge number. Muslims are so many. About a third, one fourth of the world is made up of Muslims. But still, we can't get what we want. We can't defeat, when disbelievers are, causing us genocides and others, and we can't even defend ourselves. Why? Because of the sincerity. It's not there. You know. Now we are so many compared to the Sahabas. They were very few. But what they did, subhanallah, even if we come together, all of the Muslims in the world, we can do it because of our sincerity. You know, Yakuduha, then he says that so this, sincere young men, Allah brought them for them. Allah raised them among the Indians. Okay, Yakuduha fatan min ahli bayt Rasulullah. They were being led. Qada Yakudu, it means to lead a group of people. Qiyada is leadership. So they were led by someone who was from the household of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قد جاء من الشرق, he came from the east. كنت أراه كثيرا في مدرسة الشيخ عبد العزيز. I've seen him a lot. So this minaret is saying that it has seen this young man a lot, several times in the madrasa of Sheikh Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi, wa Masjid Sheikh Abdul Qadir, and even in the masjid, mosque of the masjid of Abdul Qadir, Sheikh Abdul Qadir. واشتهر سريعا باسم سيد Ahmad. He became very popular, okay, by the name of Sayyid Ahmad. Then he says that وَتَحَافَتَ عَلَيْهِ النَّاسُ مِنْ كُلِّ جَانِبٍ, and people gathered over him from all corners, from all sizes. And people were coming from different sizes to him. Okay, he was a very popular person. وَبَايَعَهُ Muhammad Ismail ibn Akhi al-Sheikh Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi. And then people like Muhammad Ismail ibn Akhi al-Sheikh Abdul Aziz, they came and then they do bay'ah to him. Okay, mubay'ah. Bay'ah means to come and pledge allegiance to someone. You know, like we have appointed a new king. During the time of the pre-Islamic era, and even after Islam, it was even there. You know, when a king come into power, people come to give their allegiance to him, to say that we are in support of you, we are at your back, we are going to fight for you, we are going to be with you, to show that you are pleased with him being appointed as your king. So people come to do that. So that is what term as bay'ah, mubay'ah. So they came and then they pledged their alliance to him. Okay, and then he mentioned Abdul Hayy Khatan al-Sheikh, and even Abdul Hayy, who was the brother-in-law of Sheikh. Alim al-Dahli, and even the Alim al-Kabir, the very great, Alim al-Dahli, scholar of India, ulama al-Sulha, and even the righteous scholars, they came and then they pledged their alliance to him. وَطَوْفَ هَؤُلَاءِ فِي الْبُلْدَانِ وَالْقُرَى. And then they went around the communities and even the villages. وَبَسُّوا دَعْوَةَ الرُّجُوعِ إِلَى الدِّينِ. And then they spread the da'wah, the call to return back to the religion. That's one thing that has to be done. A lot of times, I think that the issue of Palestine and other places in the world where Muslims are suffering, it can never be rectified until we rectify ourselves first. Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah doesn't change people until we change ourselves. So unless we come back and change ourselves. Someone asked me, how do we solve the issue of Palestine? I will say Quran. Every single one of us, we have to come back to the Quran. When that happens, and I am good, and you are good, and he is good, and everybody is good, then Muslims will be very firm, and we can fight and defend ourselves. That's when Allah help will come. But assuming Allah help come, and even the people are not ready for it. There are cases where it's just assuming. Look at what, there are places I don't want to mention their name. There are some Islamic countries I don't want to mention their name. Allah has given them authority. But look at the behavior of the people, the demeanor of the people. It's very painful. Go to places like Algeria. Look at how they suffered. Even those who suffered to take back the country from the French people. Their blood that they shed is not even dried. It hasn't dried yet. But look at now, go there you will see. There are some people who even think that Arabic is useless. The language of the Quran is useless. We should be speaking French. The Arabic is not necessary for us. I think we should be using French. There are people who even prefer French more than the Arabic. Meanwhile, there were people, their fathers and grandfathers, who were firm on the religion. They fought with all their strength to drive away colonizers from their land so that they will re-establish Islam. And there are people who are now there thinking that Islam is useless. Subhanallah. Not saying everybody, but there are some people like that. So when the people are not ready for the thing, Allah help doesn't come. If Allah helps and then you are not ready for it, what's the essence? So we have to change ourselves first. So it was a very nice strategy that this person is using. Basu da'wat ar-ruju' ila ad-din. First, he called the people. He went around communities trying to get people back to their religion. That's what you have to. You have to cleanse the people. It's like Ibn al-Qayyim says that ad-daru al-mafsada muqaddamun ala jalb al-maslaha. If you have a dirty cup and then you want to pour a nice drink into it, what happens? You have to wash the cup first before you bring in the nice drink into the cup. Other than that, it will pollute it. So the drink is nice, but you have to clean the thing first before you put the drink there. So that's similar thing. You don't bring rules to people, or you don't bring. The people has to be purified first before you try to get the land to be Islamic. Other than that, the people will even rebel. The people themselves will be problem for Islam. That's what happens. So wabasu da'wat ar-ruju' ila ad-din. And that's what happens if you look at Surah Al-Jumu'ah. Allah talk about the formula that he used to change the Islamic community. Allah says that وَالَّذِي بَعْثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ. Number one, يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ تَزْكِيَةً, to purify them. So that's what the Prophet did first. The Prophet came and recited the Quran and purified them. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ, even before knowledge comes, وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابِ. So before even knowledge, the Prophet think about knowledge. He has to think about purification. The people's heart has to be purified before they even have the knowledge. Other than that, the knowledge will be useless. So وَبَسُّ دَعْوَةَ الرُّجُوعِ. So trying to purify the people. That's what this person did first. Very, very nice. That's what the Quran says. وَبَسُّ دَعْوَةَ الرُّجُوعِ إِلَى الدِّينِ وَالتَّمَسُّكُ بِالْكِتَابِ وَالسُّنَّةِ, and holding fast onto the kitab, the Quran, Sunnah, and then the Sunnah of the Prophet. وَأَشْعَلُوا فِي الصُّدُورِ شُعْلَةَ الْجِهَادِ. وَأَشْعَلُوا فِي الصُّدُورِ شُعْلَةَ الْجِهَادِ. And then they ignited. Ash'ala, it means to ignite a fire. So they ignited fire in the hearts. شُعْلَةَ الْجِهَادِ, a flame of jihad. They got the people to love jihad, to understand that fighting on the path of Allah is what serving the deen of Islam is what really worth spending your life. That was what they were able to tell the people. وَاجْتَمَعَ حَوْلَهُمْ أُنَاسٌ, and people gathered around him. هُمْ خَيْرُ مَنْ وَقَعَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ عَيْنِي, they were better than people who I have ever set eyes upon. Deenan, in terms of religion, wa ibadatan, and in terms of worship, wa khuluqan, and in terms of their mannerisms, wa mu'ashara, and in terms of their cooperation, wa gayratan, and in terms of their positive envy, having envy to fight for their land, wa hamasatan, and in terms of their bravery. فَكَانُوا بِاللَّيْلِ رُهْبَانًا, and at night time they were ruhban. Rahib is the plural, ruhban is the singular, is the plural of rahib, which means someone who is he worships a lot. So وَبِالنَّهَارِ فُرْسَانًا, and at the daytime they were just riding horses. Fursan is a warrior, someone who rides horses way around. So Fursan. وَفِي الدِّينِ أَبْدَالًا, and in terms of the religion, there were people who were very sincere. Abdal is like they replace. They see the legacy led by these great people and he say, I want to be like him, then they replace him. وَفِي الْقُوَّةِ أَبْطَالًا, and in terms of strength, they were heroes. وَفِي الْقُوَّةِ أَبْطَالًا, and in terms of strength, they were heroes. Let's pause the lesson here. It's almost Salat time, so that in the next lesson we'll try to continue. Very, very, very interesting. We are going to see what these young men that Allah has raised among them, what they are going to do in the next lesson. Let's see if they will be able to take control and bring the English people to their knees and take back their land or whatever. Let's see what happens. So let's pause here. Very interesting. We'll try to take from here and complete the whole passage and the whole lesson in the next lesson. جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.